We got a great video for you today, and I'm excited about it. Thanks to another subscriber for giving me this idea. We headed to Walmart to buy a new bike. First time in about 15 years, I've actually bought a bike from Walmart. This bike is only $250. I'm hoping it's still there. And today, we're gonna see if this bike is actually any good. Now, the bike we're gonna be picking up today is actually a gravel bike. And the fact that Walmart has a gravel bike is pretty unbelievable. These big box stores are really trying to make a mark in the bike industry, and I love it. More options, cheaper options for people. So let's see what they made of today. Now, one of the great things about this situation is I live close to Walmart, so I can walk over. But I'm hoping this bike is legit enough to ride back home. We're gonna find out real quick whether this bike is worth it or not. I was one of those people that thought gravel bikes were dumb until I got on one and I figured out how fun it was. So if you're interested in gravel bikes at all, to be able to try it out for $250 just to get the feel, I mean, you can't beat that. All right, I see the bikes. Is it still there? That's the question.
So they should come soon.
All right, thank you, I appreciate it. All right, so we just got somebody to call and help us with the bikes. There it is. It's still here. But is it worth it? We're about to find out. Dang it, we might have hit a snag. It says it's a small frame, but it says 5'1" to 5'9". I'm 5'8", so hopefully it'll work. All right, the G1 Explorer, we got it. Let's head to checkout and see how it rides. All right, we just picked this bike up from Walmart. And let me tell y'all something. You know I'm always honest on this channel. And I've always been interested in gravel bikes. And I actually have a gravel bike. I have a Priority Apollo. And before that one, I was always interested in the Trek Checkpoint. If I'm being honest, after riding this bike, and I know I haven't put any miles on it, I'm just giving you my first raw impressions of this bike after riding it about a mile or two. I would never consider buying a Checkpoint or any bike at any of those prices if I was able to get this. If I wanted a gravel bike. I don't know how Walmart pulled this off. My mind is blown right now. For $248, how in the hell can you get a bike of this quality?
Walmart bikes have been categorized as built to fail bikes, but the way this bike feels and rides, I think they're making major improvements.
Now, for this bike to be a Walmart bike, whoever put this bike together did a great job. Everything is solid. I didn't have to tighten anything up. Everything feels well put together. The only thing I had to do was tighten the seat post up. That was it. But everything else was dialed in. This is a 2x7 drivetrain. And I feel like there's plenty of gears for what it is. And this bike it's solid. Like I said, I would not spend a lot of money on a gravel bike if I knew this was out here and available to me. I would much rather get this. It has Kenda branded tires. I know bikes in the $1,500 to $2,000 range with mechanical disc brakes, which this one has. They have a lot of stopping power. The only thing I've noticed is a little squeaking, but for $248, I would take that squeak all day because you can always go get new brake pads and new rotors, so that's an easy fix. The bars feel solid. I really like where the shifters are. So you have a shifter on the outside and then you have a shifter on the inside. So if you're riding with your hands on the bars, your thumb is right where a shifter is. I think this bike was well thought out. You got a lot of mounting points for bags and stuff. So if you wanted to take this bike backpacking, you can do that as well. It's got a quick release front and rear. So if you need to take the front wheel off to put it in the car, easy to do that. I would buy this gravel bike over any bike considering how much you pay for what you get. Now, I do have to put a lot of miles on it. I will say that. I want to put 200 to 300 on it to see how it still holds up, if it's still able to ride pretty smooth stock. I think that'll be a great test for this bike. But my first impressions and the first day riding it, I just can't even believe how they did this. Let me know down in the comments, how do you think they pulled this off? Now, it is about 29 pounds. So a gravel bike being at 29 pounds, that's kind of heavy. For 29 pounds and $248, give me those 29 pounds all day. I'm really loving this bike. It makes me want to get miles in. It's that exciting to ride. It feels that solid. It feels that high quality. The thing that shocks me most about this bike, see, as you can hear, the brakes are squeaking, but hey, at least I don't need a horn. People will hear me coming. Now, the one thing that really shocked me about this bike, the fact that the gears are so smooth and they shift so crisp, that's honestly, that's huge at this price point. The hub sounds good. It's just a lot of good things about this bike. I would say the only negative, if there's a negative at this price point, is the fact that it weighs 29 pounds. But like I said, at 29 pounds for a bike like this, I don't care. Because I look at gravel bikes as fitness bikes. So as long as it's comfortable and it's well put together, the gears work well and easy to pedal and very efficient. I mean, obviously with a little bit of more weight, it's not as efficient as a 20-pound bike, but hey, you're paying a fraction of the price with this bike. And like mountain biking, there's always a way to get the weight down, so you do have options. Now, the one thing I'm wondering about this is, were they able to get the price down because there's no suspension? Because I know a lot of times suspension is one of the most expensive components on the bike. So the fact that they didn't have to put suspension on there, is that how they got the price the way it is? I don't know. I still feel like it costs more than $200 to build this bike. There's just no way. I'm not an expert at that kind of stuff, but if I had to guess, I would guess it costs more than $200 to build this bike or to produce this bike. Now, like I said, I gotta put some miles on it. I do plan to do a speed test with this bike. Like, I'm actually excited to ride a Walmart bike. I never thought I would be saying I'm excited and I'm looking forward to riding a Walmart bike.
When I'm mentioning how excited I am about riding this bike, it's not because I think it's the best bike in the world. It's because I'm excited about being able to get this bike brand new for $248. And it excites me to know now a lot more people have access to these kinds of bikes.
So I highly advise you to try to get this if you can. I'm so mad. I stopped recording right when I passed these people, and the first thing they said is, "Oh, nice bike." Little do you know, this was only $250. That's crazy. That's the second time I've had somebody tell me nice bike. So for the price, you even get compliments. This bike does look good though, and it has the gum wall tires that I like. I love the gum wall tire. Now, I am starting to hear some noises as I'm pedaling, and I expected that. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Let's see. Like, I can hear a little bit of noise as I'm pedaling. You could tell that it's not the highest quality, but the way it pedals and the way it feels, it doesn't feel like it's not worth the money or like it's a cheap bike. So I expected some noises with this bike, but I'm sure those noises are super simple to fix. But you expect noises with a bike like this. The feel is all I care about. Does it feel high quality? Does it ride high quality? For $250, you're not gonna get a completely silent bike. So you definitely gotta take that in consideration. If you have OCD about noises, then you definitely don't wanna get this bike. But if you can handle some noise on the bike, definitely worth it. And it's only when I pedal. And it's not super loud. It's just something to take into consideration. I'm trying to be honest, as open and honest and transparent as I can about this bike. See, it's squeaking, but those brakes grab. But, so there's negatives about this bike, but it's hard to say anything negative when you can get a solid quality bike for $250. I feel like I've said $250 250 times, but I'm just trying to emphasize what you're getting for $250. If you're thinking about getting into gravel biking or you've never tried it, go get you an Ozark Trail from Walmart. 700C, I think it's called. G1 Explorer, baby. Get you one of them and you ain't gonna regret it. At least I don't think so. I do think it only comes in 2 sizes though. I think it's small and medium. I haven't seen anything where I saw large. So I think small frame and medium frames are the only ones they carry to my knowledge. I'm 5'7.5", 5'8", and I'm riding a small frame and I feel good. I don't feel crunched or nothing like that. So definitely go take a look, check online. I'll try to leave a link in the description of the bike. Make sure you go check it out, because I'm gonna be riding this bike a lot, trust me. Especially just to test it out, to see if the parts hold up.